Hello, this is Module 1J, saving a data frame as a new file. So throughout this module, we've been kind of working on and editing this data frame that we've been calling DF Fahrenheit. If we come and take a look at it, some of the things we've done so far is we changed our temperature columns that were in Celsius into Fahrenheit because we're, silly Americans who don't use the metric system. And then probably more importantly is we went through and we reformatted the date and sorted it by the date so it's actually in chronological order. And now that I've got my data frame in much better shape, I'm actually interested in saving this out as its own file. Before I do that though, there is one more edit I want to make. And that is that this data frame is ridiculously long. I believe it's in the range of 96,000 rows. That is a ton of data. And it has, I've noticed, 24 data points per day. So I want to try to cut this down just a little bit for the analysis that I'm going to be doing in the next module. And so how I'm going to do that is I've decided I just want to select one measurement from each day. So I just want the measurement that takes place at noon each day, and I want to pretty much throw out all of my other data just so I have something more manageable. So that's what we're going to do, and then we're going to save this out as its own file. So looking at this right here, what I do first is I create a new data frame. I call it DF noon. And I'm using the mod operator, I think that's called. That might not be called mod. Anyway, the % sign in order to select noon each day. So what's this doing is it's looking at my index and saying whenever the remainder from dividing the index by 24 is 12, which is, when it's the 12th data point, the 32nd data point, the 58th data point. I just want those data points. So I'm going to run this, and now you can see that the data points that are left are the ones taken at noon of each day. So yep, I'm going to do that. And then, now my index is all messed up again though. So I'm just going to come and reset my index here. There you go. That looks all pretty. And then this is the very last line of code I'm going to run. And what it's going to do is it's actually going to write to a CSV file my data. So the syntax here is I get my data frame and then I use the .toCSV method. And all I have to give it is the name of my file, and then by default I do the index equals false. So if we come over here and look in my file explorer, we can see that I do not have a file named weather condensed. 'Tis not there. I'm going to run this code, and lo and behold, I now have a new file called weather condensed. I can come and look at it, and I see that that's my CSV file. So this is how, once you've created a data frame, modified your data frame, got it somewhere that you like it, you can save it out as a CSV file.